Hello and welcome to The Beat, a news and talk program brought to you by the Center of Community Media at Worcester State University. I'm your host, Alexandra Rodriguez, and today we will be hosting Charlene, Arsenault, and Jeannie, Hebert from the Pet Rock Festival. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Thanks for having us.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Can you tell the viewers a little bit about your background?
Personal background? Where do I even start? I'm a longtime journalist in the Worcester County area, animal advocate, and I play keyboards for a cover band. So music, writing, and animals. That's basically my background in the area. Grew up around here in Leicester, and that's it.
Yeah. And I'm born and raised Massachusetts. I was a former owner of the Hebert Candy Company, also tourism director for Central Massachusetts, and now I'm president and CEO of the Blackstone Valley Chamber of Commerce.
That's great. What is the Pet Rock Festival, and can you describe the mission?
Okay, the Pet Rock Festival is a festival that we hold once a year. We've been doing for 21 years now.
Unbelievable.
I know, unbelievable. We started out holding it at the Hebert Candy Mansion, and it came about because of a news story that Charlene had seen, and we had become friendly. She had done a story on the Candy Mansion, and we realized that we both had the mission of trying to save animals and had a big heart for animals. And she saw a news story about a little Yorkshire Terrier that was stolen from by a boyfriend, from a girlfriend, and the dog was tortured, set on fire. It was all videotaped between he and his friends, and they used it as entertainment.
It happened in Kansas.
Yeah.
And I was a mess and
Yeah.
called, and she at the time owned the Hebert Candy Mansion, and she's right, we had been friends for a while and met under circumstances involved with animals in that I did a story for Worcester Magazine on people who are crazy about their animals and spend too much.
I was one of them.
She had spent like thousands of dollars. And so, I called her crying, and out of that we connected with a person who owned a shelter and built the festival that very same year in 1999, and with that mission to get shelters and rescues and anyone involved in animal rescue to come to the same event for one festival.
One of the worst parts of that story is, though, that those young men were brought to a judge. They were tried, and the judge gave them a slap on the hand and said, boys will be boys. They didn't see the implications of serial killers like Ted Bundy and Charles Manson and Jeffrey Dahmer, who had tortured animals as children. They didn't see the correlation of how that can escalate. And we felt that we wanted to hold a festival to promote kindness and mostly to educate the public on this.
Yeah, I still to this day look up the names of those boys, and they're grown men, obviously. This happened in 1992, and they're on Facebook, just jobs, normal lives, and it's like they've moved on, and I still think about it to this day, and it's unbelievable that somebody is even capable of doing something like that. And I think that that's something people like us, we can't grasp it. Yeah. And to counteract that, we kind of just had to do something opposite to counteract the cruelty in this world. And of course you see, that was 92, and now in this day and age, before I even got here, on the ride here, I think I saw 5 stories,
It's terrible what comes across our desk. We see the worst of the worst, but then we see the best of the best. The one thing I do have to say, over the 21 years, I believe that the public has become much more educated. We've worked with our legislators, we've worked with the MSPCA and the ASPCA, and the Animal Legal Defense Fund. The Animal Legal Defense Fund is a big advocate, and we work with them to change legislation. I still don't think that it's strong enough that at least perpetrators of animal cruelty are being brought to justice. It just changed to a federal crime, though. It took all that time, 21 years.
It's moving in the right direction. Yeah. People are furious enough now where it is a major headline story. When it happens. That's a good sign, but it also feels like it's happening more, I think, because we see it all the time. Yeah. So, long answer to your little question there, right?
But I think you get the gist of that.
Yeah. So how did the festival get its name?
I had a band named Pet Rock,
Right.
And just in tossing ideas around, we were thinking, well, how perfect is that?
But,
You know?
well, it is perfect, but it's pet rock because the festival has music.
Yeah.
So it's people.
It's a
who,
pun.
Right. It's people who bring their pets. They bring their dogs. We get about 3,000 people and their dogs to this event, and it's rock bands too.
Mostly,
So,
yeah.
Yeah,
but
part of it. So it's
like
pet rock.
the backbone
Yeah,
of it's built
exactly.
around that. So.
So
yeah.
when she said her band was pet rock, we went. Well,
Sometimes
she's
people
that.
are confused, though. Just an aside, I had an interviewer once ask me. He clearly wasn't prepared for the interview, and he said, "So does everyone bring their pet rocks to this festival?" He thought it was a festival celebrating the pet rock from the '70s. So it can be confusing.
So can you give our viewers a brief history of the Pet Rock Festival?
We sort of I
Kinda
jumped
did
ahead,
that.
and we
We did
just
all
did
that
that.
already.
It came out of that story,
Yeah.
Okay.
and
Yeah.
just yeah.
What are some of the attractions and events that take place during the festival?
Well, it's evolved over the years. The first year was like, I hate to say circus, but it was a three-ring circus. We had everything.
Except
from,
we're opposed to the circus.
Right, we are opposed to circuses with performing
With
animals.
performing
Yeah,
animals.
if they don't have animals, you can be a circus. But if you have animals, we don't like you. We had everything the first year, from what belly dancers to clairvoyants to, you know.
It really was.
Yeah.
Well, we were like, come one, come all.
Yeah.
And it's still it has that feeling to it, but
It's
we're
fun.
as
It's a family-oriented
Yeah.
event. So we have events for the dogs. We have the flyball dogs come with their frisbees and they do a performance. We have an agility course if you bring your dog. We have a good citizenship test if you bring your dog. We have adoptable pet parade. Where the winner of that, the shelters take part in that. So the winners of that get a $500 check on the spot for their shelter. We have a dog show, an amateur dog show that is my baby, and it goes on for like 2 hours. We have to sometimes get the hook out and say, okay, you won. You know? But it's so much fun. We have best ears, waggiest tail, best vocalist.
owner dog lookalike.
Owner dog look-alike. Oh, that's the best. It's the best. So many
Yeah.
people look like their dogs. So, and then we have 150 breed rescues and shelters that come that day. And we don't charge them to come at all. Only profit organizations pay a small fee to be there. All of the money is given away. Charlene and I never make a penny on it. It's usually a negative cash flow for us, as a matter of
We
fact.
definitely lose money on the deal.
But we give the money away. We keep a little bit of seed money for the next year, but we give grants. I just recently gave a grant to an elderly woman who wasn't able to pay for the vet bill for her service dog, a deaf woman. And we do things like that. We buy vests for Mass Vesta Dog.
Yeah.
We help to sponsor the Animal Legal Defense Fund, who are attorneys who donate their time and talent to bring perpetrators of animal cruelty to justice. My goodness.
There's Maple Farm Sanctuary
Farm
always gets
Sanctuary,
money from
yeah.
us. I mean, it's important to
Yeah.
note while you're talking about charities. We think of each year we pick a handful of charities that are going to get money from
Yeah,
the
get more
proceeds.
money. And then we give grants,
Right.
smaller grants.
And
for
what we do,
grassroots.
right?
Yeah.
We research these organizations, and I really want to point out that a lot of people, this is very dog-centric, it seems.
Yeah.
It would appear, because people bring their dogs. But we give money to foster parrots that,
Right.
that they teach people about how really it
Birds.
isn't a good idea to have a bird as a pet in the first place, but, you know.
And
rescue-
birds live decades.
Yeah.
So it's not.
Or exotic animals,
Yeah,
they
it's just-
deal with that. And the Animal Legal Defense Fund we mentioned a few times. A big, we give money to Red Rover, and they produce a magazine called
Mm-hmm.
Kind News. And that funds subscriptions to about 150 schools in the Central Mass.
Elementary age,
Yeah. Just teaching kids how to be kind to animals and the environment, and that's, you know, at the core of the mission that we mentioned earlier. We've been doing that, I think, since we started.
Yeah.
So the money is spread out to a lot of different facets, like Maple Farm Sanctuary, they rescue farm animals.
Yeah.
You know, we're vegetarian. We do
Yeah.
not have meat at our festival because, you know, it feels funny to raise money for cows and then you
animals
have
and a bit
or
of-
pigs and
yeah.
you have a sausage on a roll. You know.
So, right.
So, another long answer for you.
Now, where does the festival take place?
It's It's moved around a bit, but we keep it in central Massachusetts. It's been at Wyman Gordon Field in North Grafton, which is a perfect place for it. Hoping to hold it there again this year. And we try to keep it centrally located because we do get animal rescues and we do get attendees from all over the northeast region of the United States. So we want to make it easy for them to come, stay, learn, have fun.
Yeah,
do
it's
some good.
moved, to answer your question further, it's moved a few times. I mean, as we mentioned, it started at the Hebert Candy Mansion.
Yeah.
The town of Shrewsbury kindly asked us to leave because it
grew
got too
much.
big.
Yeah, they say
It was
congratulations
like a backup
on growing your event and get
Yeah,
out of
we
town,
moved it. We
please.
hopped around a couple of times and landed at Wyman. We love it there.
Yeah, so we're hoping to stay there.
Yeah,
Does it occur in other states as well?
we wish.
We haven't been able to franchise it because honestly we just don't have the time. We have day jobs. But we do help to support other organizations that are have the same mission that we do. Yeah.
But we would love to do that.
We would love to do
if
that,
we've
yeah.
coordinated with somebody who could handle doing something like this in another state, that would be a dream of ours.
Yeah.
Not yet, though.
Now, who sponsored this event and what type of vendors participate in the festival?
Well, the sponsors are a huge range, and they're every year. I mean, they sponsor at different levels, depending on what they give us for money. They, in return, get name recognition and things like that. I mean, our major sponsors are. We had Subaru this year, so that they were a big one.
TD Bank.
TD Bank has been with us for many, many years.
Pet Barn.
The Pet Barn.
In the past, we've had PetSmart and
Petco.
But once, corporate level, it's difficult for them to see the value in grassroots, even though those are their, customer base. And, we have some dog food companies, Science Diet.
World's Best Cat Litter was a huge sponsor one year, but it does vary because we've found from doing this so many years, the sponsorship money for these humongous companies, it ranges all over the place. And all of a sudden they'll sponsor you for 10 years and say, ooh, we've had a cut. Money is going elsewhere this year.
Or you have a relationship with the person in charge, and that person in charge is no longer with the company. So
Yeah, you want to find the animal lovers in these companies,
right?
For sure.
Now, how can people attend future festivals or help your organization?
Get in touch with us.
Yeah, check out our website
It's as simple as that.
petrockfest.org. And you can click on the volunteer button. You can volunteer with us. You can always donate. We just had a fundraiser on Giving Tuesday, raised a little bit of money there. And on our birthdays, we always try to do fundraisers for Pet Rock. And you can rest assured that it's a true charity. The money does not go to any people who volunteer with us or us. It goes directly to the shelters, and it goes to help animals.
That's important because that's rare in today's world. There's always some taken off the top if you donate to a charity.
Yeah, we've been
doesn't happen.
We've been approached by other people who want to work with us because it's a big festival. But as soon as we tell them you're not going to get paid, they're gone.
Yeah.
It's be wary when you donate your money and it says a portion of the proceeds are donated, because it could be only 10% of what you're giving them, and the rest goes to in somebody else's pocket. So it's a true charity. We love what we're doing. It's very rewarding. We've made some wonderful friends over the years. We've got a great volunteer base, and we would love to reach out to the college community because we find that college-age students are so intelligent. They understand. They have a heart, and they're hard workers. So we'd love to have people from Worcester State University volunteer with us.
Yeah, really, and continuing with the volunteer question, it's amazing to me. We do ask all the time for help, and people will say, oh, I'd love to do that. And then when they see what's involved, all of a sudden they disappear. We would love to have more volunteers that help us throughout the year. With marketing and with maybe little mini events like pizza nights or things like that.
Or just to have a presence at other events.
We would love to form a street team, for instance. So please get in touch with us. We would love to hear from you if you're interested.
Great. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Pleasure.
It was
Thank
great.
you for having us.
Thank you for watching this segment of The Beat. Please remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. We will see you next time.